Welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur Experience podcast, where I interview all the dope entrepreneurs that I know and meet. Today I'm excited because I have a very special guest that I just hear so much great things about. Like, my mama always even hitting me talking about her. Like, so I'm just like happy. We just gonna dive right in. But before that, okay, wait, I'm lying. Subscribe to this YouTube channel now, because I'm trying to grow, and only haters don't subscribe, and you're not a hater. So subscribe to this channel, share this video, and then I'm gonna just let my guest introduce herself.
Hey guys.
What's up, twin?
I go by Brayah, aka Panda or Dube Panda. I'm a YouTube content creator, a licensed cosmetologist, and I just create funny, entertaining videos while I do what I love, which is doing hair.
Okay.
And yeah.
I like that. You popping.
I don't feel like it, but thank you.
You don't feel like it. Okay, well, let's kind of talk about that. Why don't you feel like it?
I think I have like imposter syndrome.
Oh.
Where there's an aspect to it where it's like I'm not like an entertainer, so it's not like I'm out in the world and everybody's like, "Oh my God, I know you." And then there's also just a part of it where I feel like I'm just a regular person. Like, I just am posting videos, as a regular person.
You have built an empire to where people wish they can have.
Yeah.
In the sense of over 800,000, over 850,000 YouTube subscribers, over 100,000 Instagram followers, and that's just on one page, and the other page got over 25,000. Both of those are milestones people wish that they can have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about that, you are dope. People want to see you.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank
People
you.
want to see you when you are doing stuff like that. What do you think sets you apart from other stylists and braiders in your industry?
That's a good question. I think initially, when I first started YouTube, I was teaching.
Okay.
And I'm a really good teacher. I do know that. I've always been a coach in some aspect. I did cheer. I was a cheer coach. I teached tumbling. I was a great tumbling coach. And so naturally, I just have a gift of teaching. So when I first started YouTube, I think what set me apart is that I was very detailed in my instructing, and people really liked that. They were like, "You're so easy to follow along." So that's kind of what helped me take off. And then over time, I think people just kind of fell in love with my personality, because I really have I don't really give a fuck what people think. I'm on camera ashy, no makeup, hair not done. I'm just, I can show up as myself.
Yeah.
And people really love that. They're like, "You just don't care. I love that about you." And it was funny. And I didn't mind being the joke. I'm like,
right.
They were like, "Look at your elbows." I don't give a damn. I'm showing my elbows,
Looked like he was boxing
Yeah.
powder.
So I think it was the combination of both. People were entertained and they were learning. So I think that's kind of what put me above the average stylist,
So in you building this, was there ever been a moment damn, I'm really doing this? I'm really popping. Have you ever had one of those moments?
I did, but not until I feel okay, there'll be certain different moments. When
For
TikTok
sure.
came out, and people would create videos and they would mention me in the video, and then there'll be hundreds of comments "Oh my God, I used to follow her." Those moments for me, or if I accomplish something really, if I accomplish something a goal that I have, then I'll be okay, yeah, I'm really doing this. Yeah.
What's one of those goals that you had that made you feel in that moment? What was the goal that you had was damn, really did this shit?
I think when I hit my first 100,000 subscribers and I got a YouTube plaque, because prior to that, when I first started going hard on YouTube, I maybe had about anywhere from 10 to 30,000 subscribers, and I told myself I'm gonna do this shit for a year, I'm gonna lock in, and if I can get to 100,000 subscribers, if I can get to making money on here, I'm going to stick with it. And so I went hard that year.
Yeah.
I was working till 2, 3, 4 a.m. recording content. Some of it I wouldn't use. I'm crying because, I would record stuff and it wasn't looking like how I wanted it to look. Yeah, so I'm I'm just wasting my time. But when I finally hit that, I was like, okay, maybe I'm really doing this shit. People really like this.
Yeah.
I'm on to something, So that was a good feeling.
That's
Yeah.
good. I like that. I think that's really dope because like I think we was having a conversation earlier and we talked about like imposter syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that, right? Because I'm hearing you talking, it's like I've been a teacher, educator, like an actual in school teacher, classroom. And I think that one of the good ways for me and what sets me apart is that I am good with breaking things down to simplify it for people, right?
Yes.
A lot of, like you said, people come to me and be like, oh, like, I really understand what you're saying. Other people,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So I think that's very important. If someone, what is a tip you have for someone to like that's trying to grow, right? Because we know in today's time, content is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And some people like, I'm trying and I'm doing it, just ain't hitting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is something that you can like teach or tell?
I would say be authentic. I think
What does that mean? Because we hear it a lot, but like, what does being authentic mean?
I'll give you guys this example. When I first started YouTube, I was very self-conscious about like what I would look like on camera. I would wake up and I would be like, I'm not recording content unless I have a full face of makeup on.
Okay.
Like I have to look this way. I have to find a cute outfit. But at the core, like that's really not me. Like when I go out in public, when I'm doing anything, like I don't have on makeup. It's just not me. Like I barely, this is so bad, but like I'm barely doing my hair. Like, you know, I roll out and whatever you get for the day is what you get. And so it got to a point on YouTube where I was like, I'm not really creating content or recording because it's like I'm worried about having my hair done, eyelashes done. It's like, fuck that. I'm just gonna get up and record this, you know, this is what I look like when I'm doing my client's hair. So this is how I'm gonna show up. And so when I say be authentic, it means kind of like, you know, there's everybody has a unique thing about their personality.
For sure.
And I feel like sometimes we look at that thing and we say like, oh, like people aren't gonna like that. But that's what people want to see because it sets you apart, you know?
Yeah.
So that would be my tip, is to show up and be authentic, and then you got to be consistent.
I like that. Two things that you said that is really important. Personality, right? You have to add your personality to your content, because if I got 10 braiders, 10 hairstylists, and we all post our best work, we all look the same, essentially, right? Because my best, your best kind of may be equal. But what sets you apart is that you add your personality to your content, and people get to see who you are and how would it be to experience to work with you. And that's how you really grow. And so I don't want people to skip past that. You said that. And then the other thing, we call it the big C word, is consistency.
Yes.
People are so inconsistent and they just can't. And what they don't understand is the more consistent you are, the better you'll become, the more you'll be visible, right? What's your way of, or during this time, this year time, around what time was this? What year was this?
When I got like popping on
when you start was like, I'm gonna give it a year, I'm gonna stay consistent.
Oh, that was about 2017.
2017?
Yeah.
Okay. So in 2017, you are like, I'm going all in. I'm doing my thing on this YouTube. What was your way of staying consistent?
Well, first of all, I didn't have a choice because I didn't have a job.
Okay.
So at that time, I was making like $1,000 off YouTube. I had got laid off from one of my jobs. And so I didn't have an income. So I had no choice but to wake up and like treat it like a job. But I really didn't have a plan. I just knew I was going to record and try to post every day. And if I didn't, I knew that I had no choice but to try to be successful. So that was like really it for me. Like it was like, I just have to post something.
Yeah.
And so I did. It was really not more to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You was like, shit, back against the wall. I gotta make this shit happen.
I gotta make this happen. Yeah.
It gotta work, or it gotta work. Type of situation. That's cool. I like that. Where are you from?
I'm from Richmond.
From
Bay
Richmond.
Area. Yes.
Okay. How was that? How was that being from Richmond?
It was cool. You know, I actually had a really great childhood. So my parents were married. They're still married. They've been married for 36 years, about to be 37.
Goals. Okay.
Yeah. And so I had a great childhood. Like I went to private school. They were really big on education. Went to private school all the way through college. And I was a little turned because I had some friends. I had some friends who was with the shit, so I was a little turned, but I can't really complain. Like I had a great upbringing. I had great role models. You know, I wasn't really in the hood, so I lived in Richmond, but not like I wasn't in like deep sea. You know, I'm at
Right.
I'm not in like a super nice neighborhood, but it wasn't really hood, but you know.
So in growing up in Richmond, great education, was hair always the thing that you wanted, or was there a different vision for you as you were
No, I
growing
had
up?
a different vision.
What was that?
When I went to school, I was actually an engineering major.
Okay.
I had dibbled and dabbled in a lot of different things, but it turned out that I really loved math, so I was an engineering major.
Okay.
And I actually went to school in Hawaii, and I was out there for 6 years. I had dropped out of college and was just working and got a job back at home. So I came home and I was working for Chevron, the energy and technology company. And that was like my career path. That was my goal. I was working in research and I just was going to finish my school. They would pay for it. And I ended up getting laid off. Now, I had always been doing hair on the side. I was interested in it, but to be honest, I didn't see any money in it. I didn't see any longevity in it. It was kind of just side money. Like, I need to make a little extra money. So I was doing that. And then when I got laid off, I noticed that like around that time, I was just going through like life changes where I was like, I want to take control of my own time. I want to be my own boss. I was tired of working for jobs and showing up, and like I was a hard worker and it just wasn't appreciated.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all just don't give a fuck. Like, I'm telling you I'm sick. You don't care, you know? Yeah. So I knew I wanted to be my own boss in some type of way. And then that's when I was like, okay, well, I got this hair thing. Let me see
what this thing can do.
Yeah, because I was good, but I wasn't trying to be better. I was just like, I was cool with where I was at, you know? So, yeah.
So then you went to school? You went to school?
Yeah, I went to hair school. So when I got laid off, I went to hair school in 2017 because I was just like, you know, if I'm going to do this, like, I don't want to miss out on opportunities. So I went to hair school. That took me about a year. Graduated in 2018. And then from there, I just took off.
Been lit. Been lit ever since.
It's been lit.
So you're doing hair. You're going all in on YouTube. And I heard YouTube give out the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask this. Like, what's the most you ever made on YouTube?
The most I've ever made on YouTube in a month was 33,000. It fluctuates. It fluctuates. I know. It's so good. It's so good. This was during the pandemic. So it's crazy because I noticed like slowly and surely my money was going up. And I remember listening to like watching other YouTubers videos and they would talk about what they're making. And I'm thinking like, ain't no way you making 40, 50, 60,000 a month. That just don't make no sense. Right. But I noticed like the more I started posting, it slowly started going up. So I remember the first month I made like 10,000. I sent it to my dad. I'm like, Dad, look at this shit. And he's like, off a YouTube video? Right. So I'm like, yeah, like this is for real. And then I just kept posting. And then there's obviously peak months. So like December is you making money in December. So that December I posted a video every single day and my shit just shot up.
It went up.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still getting the YouTube back?
Yeah, I'm still getting a YouTube bag, but not at that capacity. So nowadays it's more like 10 to 15 on a good month. But it fluctuates. Like there's been months where I've only made 3,000.
Yeah.
There's been months when I've only made 2. It depends on how much you put into it.
For sure.
Yeah, and then I mean, over time my content has changed. So right now I'm kind of like in a rebuilding phase trying to get my audience back. So it is a little harder, but yeah.
So let me ask this because most people will like think like, damn, I made 30K in a month doing this. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go extra hard.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that happened that stopped the productivity for you that made you not go as hard as you were, or like what? Because I'm asking this because I think that, and I don't know your story yet, right? But there is a thing of like we reach a point and then it can be scary, right? And then life happens, stress happens, shit happens, and then we're just not being as productive as we was. But then it's just like, why not? Why am I not doing this, right? This thing that really was popping for me. And that can be scary, right? It can be scary. I know for me, and I know working with clients, like sometimes it can be, success can be scary.
Yes.
And I think that that's not talked about enough. So like after you have this success and then like life happens, like what transpired to not like you like I'm posting every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you stop posting every day?
So the height of when I was making that money was during the pandemic. So that made a difference because everybody was
Definitely
obviously
pandemic,
at home
for sure.
consuming content. When people got back out into the world, it was a little harder.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it's not that I wasn't posting every day, but like after the pandemic, when people weren't just glued to their phones, it's like now I have to figure out how to get you to come back here versus you just waking up. That's all you can do.
Right. That's all you can do.
Yeah. So I think there was that. And then the real kicker, y'all, is like I just started having kids. And that really like put a standstill on a lot of like my content making. In a sense of like, first of all, on YouTube, I was just acting crazy. So it's like, damn, do I want my kids to see me doing this or that, you know? And then also like just physically, I couldn't do a lot of the things that I was doing physically because I'm doing hair and like rapping and dancing and dropping it like it's hot and you know, so a lot of things I had to like kind of fall back on and
sure.
you know, and I matured in a lot of ways too. Like I'm just not as crazy as I was, you know?
For sure.
Yeah, so
I get that.
Yeah.
You know what? Kids are such a blessing. At least that's what they try to make us feel. Says the man with hella kids, right? How many kids do you have?
Two. Yeah, two
so,
under two.
How old are
they? 2 and literally 4 months.
Oh, so you were like back to back. Like fuck it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I get it. You know, it's funny because my daughter mom, we're like, I call her my sis, right? She my, even though we got a kid together, that's my sis. Like her boyfriend and everything. Like that's, bruh, like we hang out, we kick it. So we're a really blended family. And they had 2 kids. And I would tell her, I'm like, damn, nigga, you been pregnant for like 2 years straight. Like you pregnant, have a baby, and then you right pregnant again. And so I don't think people understand like the level of commitment kids, or some people, I guess they do, right? But kids are a big commitment.
Yes.
And they can stop you, right, from doing a lot. And I think that when we talk to like the youth and we be like telling them like enjoy life, don't rush to have kids and all that kind of stuff like that. I think they don't listen or they don't know. But then there's also, okay, let me ask you this question. Okay.
Here we go.
I'll ask you this question. Having kids young and enjoying your life later versus enjoying your life young and having kids later. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Which one would you pick?
I definitely would wait. I would wait. Yeah.
So enjoy the younger years and get it done.
Yes.
Yes? Why? Because
I had a time.
You had a time?
I had a time. And I feel like when you have kids, you can have a time, but like not a time. You know? When people have kids in their 20s, like I just honestly couldn't imagine because I moved away for college. I was in Hawaii and like I was partying daily, weekly.
Yeah.
It was just I had a time. And so I wasn't in the financial space. I wasn't in the mental space. And my biggest thing was like being married. I for sure wasn't married. And I just could not imagine. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, in my 30s now, like having kids, I can still go out and enjoy myself, but it's not the same because it's like I know I got to come home and show up and be present as a mom.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
I think like my first kid was when I was 22.
Ooh,
my daughter.
That's young,
right.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed my younger years, and then I enjoyed being a parent. I was also wild, and I think that me having my kids calmed me down. Right, and so that was just a good thing because I be like, so transparency. They call them ghetto twins.
Oh my God.
So my 2 kids are my first daughters are 3 months apart. So
oh God.
Yeah, I know, right? So I was young, I was wilding, and so it calmed me down. And so I think that me having a kid like kind of saved me. But then I also think now that I'm older and I'm more like financially stable and I'm doing better, I can enjoy life more now than I could then. And so as my kids are getting older and they're about to leave and go to college, I'm like, shit, bye. I can go do some more
Yeah,
shit.
see, there's like a flip side to it where I feel like if you have your kids young, you get to enjoy like you kind
For
of
sure.
you get to enjoy them in their teenage years in a different type of way because you tapped in with them,
For sure.
Whereas like my kids will be a little bit older. I'll probably be in my 40s, 50s. I'm like, is this your grandma?
Cam, I got you know what? I'll be trying to be so like uptight and professional on this podcast, and then it's just like I watch other people podcasts and they be like all that other shit. Our next guest is here and they calling. And so I just gave them your phone number so you can so they can get here, so they can quit calling my phone. Cool. So as you're doing this and you're growing, you're getting attention, obviously, right? Are celebrities, influencers, are they hitting you up? Are you working with them? How did that dynamic go for you?
Influencers, yes. I wouldn't really so much say celebrities. I probably have worked on like one celebrity. I don't know what we would classify as a celebrity, but influencers, yes.
Yes.
Because I'm in the same space. I'm doing what they're doing. I'm posting on social media. I'm lit at this time. So yeah, I've done a couple big influencers. Yeah. That I'm still tapped in with. They cool.
Still tapped in. So, and you consider yourself influencer?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that. I like the combination. I like working with other people.
Yes.
And I think that I've gotten a lot of compliments over the last week. So we've all came together, me, you, and a couple other people, and I consider influencers, and we start creating content together.
Yes,
right?
I loved that.
I think that is so dope. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm just happy that we're able to do that.
Yes.
And come together. What has been a thing for you, or what has worked with you as far as like collaboration? How has collaboration worked for you and being like an upside to you? Because I think a lot of people don't collaborate as much as they should because they think that oh, you're a stylist, we do the same thing, you're a competition, and so they don't actually collaborate. How has collaboration helped you?
Collaboration actually has helped me a lot, and I think people are also under the perception that you have to have somebody with the same amount of followers as you or it's not beneficial. But for me, it's actually been the opposite. So I do a lot of live streaming and sometimes I'll have a guest and I'm just matching energy with them. We're really fun. It's happened a couple times. I could say like with Brayah Gemini, people just love us. Like, during the pandemic, we got 3,000 people on a live stream for 4 hours. That's pretty good,
that's
right?
Hella good.
So, we created segments together. We're collabing. Her following's going up, mine's too. And then I had two other friends, Amani and China. We had called ourselves the Trickets. And we're rapping on stream.
For sure.
We're creating songs for the followers, and they was eating that up too. So I feel like it definitely. I'm the type of person like I like to vibe off of other people's energy. So anytime I could work with somebody else, as long as we have the same vision and you're consistent, like let's go. I love that.
That's so cool. I had a friend. So it's a young lady made a post. She does makeup, right? And she was like, "Oh, I'm looking for people that I can use, right? Models. I'm looking for models. I'll do your makeup for free. You just post it, all that kind of stuff." I had a friend who hit her, and then she told her like, "Oh, like I only want to work with people with 5,000 or more followers, right?" And I told my friend like, I get it. I'm like, but I think she's missing out. Number one, she don't even have over 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
So trying to create that like criteria was just like crazy. But then it's just like, I felt like she was missing out on the opportunity to just work with people that can just help build her brand.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that?
I would 100% agree. I feel like, I think when people are looking for models or stuff like that, they think that, obviously the more followers they have, the more people that they could potentially reach. But like you said, sometimes like you'll meet that one person and your energy clicks and you guys are just creating content together and you guys can grow together. Like I've never been that type of way, because sometimes it's not that sometimes people are just not consistent or sometimes, they're just not posting the content at the right times or the right thing. So it's not that they don't have the potential. So yeah, I wouldn't do that per se.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I say that because you was just saying that you was working with somebody they didn't have as much, but you guys vibe well, right?
Yeah.
And then as well as like as we created this like content circle that, you know, we look at like you over 100, Keith over 15, and then we get I don't know, Cam is like the bottom of us, right? He got like 12 or something like that. But we still rock with him though, right?
He cool.
He cool. We gonna help him. But no, but it's just like people bring more to the table than just followers. And I think people skip past that or like look at that. Because we are in today's time, in reality, we are judged by our numbers.
Yes.
Right? We are judged by our numbers. Like, you're cool if you have a lot of followers. People look at you like that. And so it's just like, and I try to tell people all the time, like, as I'm helping them with their content and their business, and I'll be like, well, that shit matters. Like, people are like, why does it matter? And I'm like, because, motherfucker, we're judged by our follower count.
Yes,
There's no way around it, right? If I go to your page and you got 100,000, I go to somebody else's page and they got 5, I'm going to compare.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not as important as in like working with people, but in reality, we are judged by our numbers. We look at a post and we tell a post is good by the way the views and the likes and the comments, right?
Yes.
And so those metrics are important. I want to ask this, as a braider, right? Where do you feel on the price range of braiding? Like, how much do you charge? I want some singles. What y'all call them? Boho braids. Boho braids. I want some boho braids.
Okay, so
what's your pricing like?
So for just regular singles, I'm $260. I'm about average. I feel like that's about average, $260. Boho braids, I'm a little high. Okay, so we're talking $450, $500 for boho braids.
Let me ask this, just so I can make sure that because I know the saying, the boho braids are the singles with the
pieces of
hair hanging out. Okay. Look, I know a little bit. I have to make sure I was right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's considered high, $455?
I think $455. I mean, for most people, that's the price, but a lot of people do think it's high. Yeah.
And okay, so in the world of braids, right? How do you feel about like people in today's time? People like may get a little following, start doing hair, ain't never went to school, anything like that. How do you feel about unlicensed people doing hair? Because it's like you spent your time.
Yeah, I spent my time.
And spent your time and you did the proper channels, and now people may just watch they may have watched one of your YouTube videos, learned how to do some hair, like, fuck, I'm going to start charging.
I feel like my issue is not necessarily with them doing it and not being licensed. My thing is when you start trying to teach classes, because there's a lot of people who are great at doing hair that have never been to hair school. Just you're talented, or you've taught yourself, you've learned. But when it comes to teaching, there's certain things about safety and sanitation that you need to know. And I see a lot of people. I just seen a girl post a trailer for a class that she was teaching, and she was using an edge brush with hair wrapped around it, old hair in it. You know, stuff like that is nasty. Yeah. Or I seen another girl on Instagram, she's teaching a class, and you look at the class floor and there's braiding hair all over the floor. Like, that's unsanitary. And if Stay Board came in there, you know, that's not, you know, so that's kind of, I'm more so with the teaching aspect where I'm like, you can't be really trying to teach and I'm looking at you from a licensed cosmetologist and you don't have it all there. But I mean, I feel like, why wouldn't you want to go to hair school? I went to hair school because like I never wanted to miss out on the opportunity. I never wanted to come up on something and, you're not licensed, you know, why wouldn't you want to be the best at anything that you're doing? And, you know what I mean? And so it wasn't just about learning to braid hair. It was just about like preparing myself for any opportunity so I would never be like not considered. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, yeah.
Okay. I like that. What is something like in the hair industry that you just do not like that's going on right now? What is just like, oh my gosh.
This is funny because I actually did it. But I don't like...
You did the thing that you don't like?
Yes, I did the thing I don't like. I don't like like, I guess it's called rage bait, where people lie about stuff just to get like clicks, views.
Oh, so
I've
like,
done
come
it.
with me as I charge $5,000 for this
Yes,
hair
I hate
style.
that. I hate that. And it's crazy because I actually did it. I did it on TikTok.
And I bet you that shit went up.
It went up. I was like one of the, I hate to say this because I don't like to act like I do shit first, but I was like one of the first people to do it. I lied and said I
All
charged
right.
$700 to braid this girl's hair,
All
and
right,
they
Soldier Boy.
ate me up. Ate me up. And then now I see people do it all the time, but it's just like I don't know. People like argue in the comments, say
Yeah.
like, this is just ridiculous, but it's like, y'all really believe this?
I mean, it's clickbait. And
Yes.
clickbait is controversy encourage engagement with social media.
Yes.
Right? I'm not totally against it. I'm for real. I'm not, because I just know that like when I do different things, I do get people hit me up like, why would you do that? Or why would you say that? And I'll be like, I had someone who wanted to work with me as a client, and I reacted somebody else's skit. And then she hit me up and was like, why are you reacting someone else's skit? That doesn't make you look like you know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And as she's talking to me, I'm just like, oh, I said, this is why you actually really need to hire me, because you actually don't know social media.
Yeah.
Because I can tell by this conversation that you're having, because social media is it's a copycat world.
Yes,
right?
it is. Very much so.
We see a dance, 10,000 people react to dance, right?
Yes.
We see a skit, 10,000 people do the skit. We just did a trend that was popular with the Sam Smith song, right? We reenacted. Like, that's part of social media to do that. And when people don't understand that, it's just like, oh, you don't know how to utilize social media. How do you feel about like that, like recreating trends and different stuff like that?
Definitely. You definitely have to do it. That's really, like you said, that's all the TikTok is about. Recreating dances, recreating trends. The only thing you do is really just put your spin and your touch on it. You might change the wording. You might add a little, extra sauce to it. But I mean, the creators that are at the top, first of all, on YouTube, let's say, like the creators that are at the top, a lot of them have gotten there by doing reaction videos.
For sure.
So you just reacting to somebody else's content. And then even like with anything else, it's like when you get ideas, like I get ideas from watching other people's content and then figuring out how I can tailor that to myself, my audience. So
I definitely
gotta do it.
I definitely think, and I think you said something very smart there that people need to understand, is that you don't have to be copycat and go word for word, right? But you can be inspired.
Yes.
See something, be inspired, and be like, how can I use this for my brand?
Yes.
So I can become better, right? And I think a lot of people need to scroll and be more inspired. So like my teaching is just like, follow some people that inspire you.
Yes.
See what they're doing, seeing what's working, recreate that so it can help you so you can become better.
Yes.
Right? Cool. How do you balance? What's the balance for you married, right?
Yep.
So husband, kids, hair, content creation. How you balance that shit?
I'm still trying to find. I'm still every day.
I'm still working it out.
I'm still working it out, to be honest. My partner is super supportive. So like, if I have days where my day is just crazy, he's super supportive. But I think like the most important thing is that you have to understand the goal together. So for us, we really understand the goal together. He knows, obviously, the more I post, the more I do what I got to do, the more money we make. So finding the balance with the kids is just so hard. Yeah. It's so hard. I'm not at the point, one of my kids is in daycare, so that's cool. Yeah. But my newest son, he's not in daycare yet. So I'm actually about to start showing people the behind the scenes, because I'm posting videos and everything, but he's in the background crying, screaming, and I'm like, people might actually want to see this because it's been hard. Yeah. It's been really hard.
It's really, I mean, the good thing about content, or what is content, is like to be really relatable. Yes. Right? And being relatable is being a mom, being a wife or girlfriend, doing hair and creating content. People can't figure it out.
Yes.
And looking at your following and everything, people would think like, oh, I got all this shit figured out. But when you show behind the scenes, people will be like, oh, like she's more like me than what I thought.
Yes.
And so I just want, and I just, you've been saying some really good things. And I don't want people to like miss that, right? Like, I don't have the shit figured out.
Yeah.
I balance. What the fuck is that? Like, there's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
Some days my content may get more attention than everything else. Some days it may be the kid or the husband. Like, it's
Let me
hard.
just say that I feel like I have a goal. I have a goal. And every day I just wake up and tell myself, like, look, I got to do what I can today to like get to this goal. And so I feel like for me, there's like, I make money from social media. This is my bread and butter. So I really don't have a choice. So the only balance for me is like getting up and knowing that I have to do something today towards my business. You know what I mean? And that's really just it. Like,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Having a lot of followers comes with attention, and it's not always positive. How the fuck do you deal with like trolls and negative comments and stuff? Because you tell you what's crazy, you will have 100 comments and 90 of them will be all positive, but them 10 that's negative is like what eat us away. I know for me, I'll get like one negative comment and then I'll think about that shit all day over all the positive ones. Like, how do you deal with that?
You know, I feel like over time you kind of build tough skin. But one time I got dragged on TikTok, thousands, like when you say one negative comment, thousands of negative comments. And I ain't gonna lie, I cried. Like it really ate me up because, you know, when you know how you are as a person, and the video was a lie. I lied and said I did something that I didn't do. So I'm like, wait, guys, no, like it was really a lie.
It was a joke. It wasn't, it wasn't really for real.
Yeah, like, you know, it is really tough, but I've been kind of blessed. Like for the most part, I do get more positive. So what I've tried to do is like, number one, I block certain keywords. So like you can only take it so far with me. That's number one.
For sure.
And then when I do get the negative comments, it's kind of like I think about all the people who actually love me, and it's like, this one hater, you know? You got to really think of it like that. And your skin, like I said, gets tough over time. So now it's like, I ain't even tripping off the comments like I used to be. Like you said, engagement is engagement. So,
for sure.
You know.
I like that.
Yeah.
In this world of hair, right? It's always changing. Do you feel like the industry is providing enough like empowerment and education for the younger people that's trying to come up?
I would say yes and no.
Explain that. Elaborate on that.
I would say I think that a lot of like the newer generation are learning off of social media, which is great. There's a lot of free knowledge off of there, but I feel like they're also missing out on a lot of stuff. Like I said, cleanliness, sanitation, really customer service. And I think like the industry has become like a hustler's mentality. Like I'm just here to get the money. And then a lot of people ask me like, how do you retain clients? Like, how do you keep your clients coming back?
How
it's like,
what's that retention for?
Man, it's just, you have to be professional. There has to be a level of professionalism to what you do. You need to show up on time. You need to, you need to have communication. There's like, everything is online now. So like, even with booking, a lot of people, her hairstylists, if you look in their bio, it's like no DMs, no this, no text, no number to reach them. And I think they forget like a little level of communication. For sure. You know, having your clients be able to reach you to some extent is important. Like, I'm not talking to a robot. You know,
I don't like that when I see. And so my target audience and who I work with the most are hairstylists.
Okay,
I get hairstylists the most. So in work with them, like I don't like the no DM thing.
Yes, me.
I don't like that because it's just like you're missing out on money.
Yes,
like. Somebody can't DM you and ask you a question or have a quick conversation with you. And then if it becomes too much or they start talking too much, then you point them to the link and tell them to book and stuff like that, right? But you're missing out on money because you don't want to have a conversation with people.
Exactly.
I don't like that.
Exactly. And then I feel like also when you are running a business, you know, people are investing and spending their money with you. Sometimes it's just you. You don't have to be the best. It's like, I want Brayah to do my hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, what? No, don't talk to me. Booking site. Like, it's just, do you have an attitude?
Yeah,
Or like,
right.
is we cool or what?
That's
you know,
hella
so
funny that you said that.
yeah, I think there are some things where I feel like you know, you can't get online or you can't get from YouTube or the free education that's out there. So yeah.
Being in this industry, and doing hair, damn, what was I about to ask you? What is something, okay, tell me one thing that you just wish that it'd be like, wish people stop doing this or that wish just do away. What is something that you just like
with hair?
That's cringy in the industry. Yeah.
In the industry, I would have to think on that. I would have to think on that. I really don't know.
Are you seeing different trends or different hairstylists that's doing shit that you just like don't like?
Not really, to be honest.
Okay. So okay, let me ask this. And it's good. I watched your episode, your release, and you and your friend, y'all were talking about when people put like celebrity stylists or makeup in the industry, right? How do you feel about people chasing celebrities and want to be a celebrity stylist or put that in their bio?
I feel like it does make you feel accomplished when you do a celebrity or you do an influencer. And it can do a lot for your brand, but for me personally, that's never been my goal. For other people, I just think it's crazy when you do one celebrity and now you put celebrity stylist in your bio and your prices then went up $1,000. It's like, come on. You've done one celebrity. Now, if you're somebody who's in the industry and you're working, you know, Netflix, you're behind the scenes, you're VMAs, you know, if that's like who your target audience is, I get it. But it almost comes off as like arrogant in a way. It's you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, like you only touch celebrities now? You know what I mean? And there are some people who do that, but it's just like, you know, it's nice to get an opportunity, but now you did one celebrity and you want to raise your prices to $250. What changed about what you do?
What you do? What's a celebrity that you want to work with? Give me a celebrity that you'd be like,
that I would
if I was
work
able to work with this celebrity, I would like be so in love.
That's a really good one. I would want to work with Queen Naija.
Queen Naija?
Yes.
Okay, I was not expecting that answer. That's
you
good.
know, a lot of people don't.
Naija,
Queen Naija. I like her because I'm more of an influencer type girl. I like influencer clients. She is a celebrity now, but just personality wise, I feel like we would vibe. I've been watching her for a long time. She wears braids. And yeah, I really love her. If we're talking about like mega status celebrity, probably Cardi B.
Cardi B?
Yeah.
Cardi B over Beyonce?
Yeah. Beyonce is a little too much pressure for me. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Cardi would be a vibe.
Yeah. Seemed like be a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel that. I see that.
Yeah, those are the two that I would be like, oh, shit.
I like that. Okay. Yeah. What's next for you in this journey?
So, well, you know, I'm getting into the podcast space.
For sure.
I'm really trying to find ways to create money without being behind the chair. So I want hair for me to be the type of thing where I get up and do it when I want to do it and create some content. So podcasting, I've tried to get into vlogging, which is harder than it looks.
It is harder than it looks, but I like vlogging though.
I do, but I feel like I need a videographer because it's like I'm trying to live in the moment.
I want to pay somebody to do that shit too.
Literally.
For sure.
Literally.
Right.
So a little bit of vlogging, and honestly, I'm just kind of like a take it by day person. So to be honest, I really don't know. I'm just going through life and figuring it out as I go.
Yeah. If you weren't braiding, what would you be doing?
I probably
arthritis hands just start fucking up. Can't do it. What you gonna do?
I would for sure go back to school. And that's a great
question.
Hello,
Hawaii.
No, for real. I'm coming back. You know what? At this big age, I might get into something like nursing.
Okay.
And once I find out that ain't for me, because I already know people in nursing school, I don't know if I could hang with that. I might get back into the oil industry.
You don't think that you can take on the social media influencer full time?
Oh, you
That's
know what?
not.
I didn't even think about that. I could for sure do that.
Yeah.
I could for sure do
I
that.
can see.
Yeah.
No, I can really see that. And you, number one, you have that personality. Number two, you've like have proven that you can do it, right? And so it's just like you like, all right, I ain't doing hair no more, but I'm gonna figure this content.
I might get
stuff
into
out.
like an aspect of it, like what you do, like content coaching other people.
Don't tell me that, because listen, I'm recruiting. Okay,
No, for real. I
Come
probably
on,
would. I probably would, because a lot of that's why I like to help Bree, because I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of just knowledge in that area, but I'm also past the age where like there's certain shit I can't do, and I'm married. Like I can't be in a bikini on Instagram. Like that's just So,
depends. You might talk to husband and it be like, listen, another $30,000 check coming from here. Shit, I go buy it.
Oh God,
here you go, baby. Wear this one. Red really set your eyes right.
No, I'm weak. But yeah, I might. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I guess I was thinking about getting rid of hair and all that I do in one.
For me, I'm always thinking about like what next level is, monetizing and stuff like that, right? And that's just always where my mind go. And then this education field is just so big.
Yes.
Right? Because you're doing something that people like want to do. And especially you're doing stuff at the level that people just dream of. Right? And so it's just like having the proving numbers behind you just makes it even better. Like, I can teach you this. I can teach you how I did it, right? Because right now in the industry, it's about how I did instead of how to. Like, it's not a how to do this, it's how I did this, right? And you with your numbers, like, shit.
You know what's interesting is I've always kind of wanted to get into teaching, because I don't think a lot of people understand how much money is behind it. When I was hitting big numbers on YouTube, I remember I would get comments and they would be like, the game is to be sold, not told, or I'm tired of people posting YouTube videos and, this and that. And I'm like, well, if you knew how much people were making off of YouTube,
I'm actually selling it.
You actually would not be, you know, and you don't have to give out all your game or tell everybody every single thing about what you're doing. You just posting content. And I'm like, now people are getting more hits, but I feel like a lot of people don't understand like the money behind the numbers. And I'm just like,
I'm gonna put you on the spot. So I put on these events called content labs, right? And people usually come in, pay, and I teach them how to like create content, things like that, right? How to plan it out, right? I give them the formula. And then we also shoot content on the spot. You need to come be a teacher.
Really?
You need to come teach.
Oh, I'll be nervous. Okay.
You need to come teach. Number one, my friend just walked in here because I'm interviewing her next. Shout out to Principal Dari.
Hey.
That is my business partner. That's my dog. She's really good at like creating curriculums and shit like that. So I'm putting her on the spot too, just so she can hear. I'm gonna set up a meeting, right? And we're going to put together something so you can like teach something, right? Whether it's YouTube or you teaching a stylist how to do something, right? And then at my next event, and honestly, I was just going through when I'm gonna do it, and I think January 26th.
Okay.
I'm going to hold my next content lab. So clear your schedule. You coming and you teaching.
Yay.
I'm putting you on the spot. Cool?
Yeah, I'm down.
I just think that I see people that's really talented and really have a gift, and you are one of those people.
Thank you.
And I think that like to expand on what it is that you're doing, like this teaching realm can really like be it for you, because you already teach people how to braid. In the beginning of this podcast, you said you love teaching.
I do.
And so it's just like people are getting flew out and traveled around the world and making a lot of money teaching social media. And I think that like with us and our group that we're already creating, as we're creating content together, we can also be building this brand of really teaching people how to become better at social media for their business.
Yes.
So
I love that.
good. Y'all heard her say, yeah, right?
That.
So I got her on camera saying, this is why I love having the camera, because I can make people say yes to something and then I can just hold it back like, well, right here, you said okay, so you going to be a person of your word or not? Dar, you saying yeah? Oh, see, look at all of look at the shit that we doing. Okay, cool. All right. Is there anything else that you want to say to the people? Any advice? Anything you want to give? Let them know.
I would say, if you're interested in being a content creator, consistency, even when you feel like nobody is watching. Putting thought into your content and your personality into your content. And I feel like just don't overthink. When you have an idea, you act on it and post it. A lot of my best moments on social media have come because like I just post shit and I'm damn near the first to do it, you know? So don't overthink it, and get a team of people who can motivate you. Yeah. Because I love being around you, and when we had the content day, like it's just nice to bounce off ideas. Like I feel like it's very easy to be stuck like I can do this myself, but like when you get to a certain level or even before that, you need help.
Well, I really like that you said that, because that is a good segue to, you need to be around people that's creating content, that's entrepreneurs, and so therefore you need to be a part of the Content Creation University, and be with us, because we are a community of entrepreneurs that grow together, that learn together, that have book clubs, that meet up, that shoot content, that hold each other accountable, and it's the number one space for content creators, entrepreneurs, and small business owners, right? So go ahead and click the link, join the Content Creation University, come be with us, because we taking over. And the people in the community are really growing, are shooting content. So they need to go ahead and be part of Content Creation University, because I'm adding her to it. So she's going to be in there too. Y'all see, I'm forcing her. I'm pushing her.
I want to be there, y'all.
There we go. That's good. So thank y'all for watching. We appreciate you joining this conversation. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow. Join Content Creation University, the #1 community for all content creators and entrepreneurs. And we'll see you next time. We out. Peace.